Hey guys, it's construction day 99 and I'm back. I'm feeling great. It was a rough couple of days. I lost some weight, which I think is a good thing. Try to keep it off. I'm going to have to stay away from a banana queue. But earlier today, we were at Mitsubishi Dumaguete to get our truck oil change, 10,000 kilometer service. So I did do a quick video there just to highlight Mitsubishi Dumaguete. But now we're at the work site and let's go up there and get you guys some updates. All right, so Wilma and I are here at Mitsubishi Motors here in Dumaguete getting oil change, 10,000 kilometer service. It's right here on the main road. They call it Mitsubishi Dumaguete, but it's really close to Subulan. There's Triumph Home Depot that we videoed a few times looking at the tile, and it's right next to that. Dumaguete is that way, a few kilometers, and then going here north is Subulan. So Mitsubishi Motors, and we're here to get our 10,000 kilometer oil change. So I snuck in the service bay. Look how large this is. And I remember the service bay in Ormoc, where I bought the truck, was big like this as well. Look at all the vehicles that fit in here. And they took it right in. We pulled in, we had an appointment, and took us right away, fill out the paperwork, explain to us exactly what they were going to do with the 10,000 kilometer service. And then within about, I'd say 5 minutes or less, she got on the phone, called the mechanic. Mechanic came right up, grabbed the car, took it in, and we got several guys working on it, and they're rotating the tires. And what I asked them to do is take the spare tire off and put the spare tire in the rotation, because the spare tire is a full tire with a same type of wheel. So they're doing that. So they just took off the back tire and they're putting the spare away, and then they're going to go ahead and do the rotation. So I'll talk to the guys and see if they want to be on camera or not. So one thing that's really different from what I'm used to, they got 5 guys working on our oil change here. So you got the supervisor there and 4 workers. So another thing is a little different with oil changes. When they take the oil out, they actually do an engine flush, and that's something that's I'm not used to seeing when I would get my oil changes in the US. So they actually drain the oil, then they put an engine flush in, and then they ran the vehicle for I think 2 minutes, and then now they're taking that out, and they said that cleans inside the engine. So that's pretty good. And then what they also do with the service is they clean the brakes, and I did see that at the 5,000 kilometer checkup, where they actually will take the brakes, the brake pads off the rotors, and then they scrub them, and then they spray and scrub the rotors and the calipers, and then they put the brakes back on the vehicle. So like I said, I noticed it at the 5,000, but they're going to do that here at the 10,000 as well. All right, so here's Carlo, and see what I mean? They go through, and he's just cleaning the whole brake assembly, and they already took the brakes out. See, the brake pads are out, and he has them down here. And what he's doing is he just got done spraying all these and cleaning the pads. So they actually take the pads off the vehicle, and then they sit here and they use a whole bunch of the brake cleaner and just go through and spray all this dirt. And they're doing it with all 4 of the brakes. Again, that's just part of the service here. Never seen that done in the US before, where they clean the brakes. They did exactly this at the 5,000 kilometer service as well, but here they clean the brakes with every oil change. All right, so Carlos here, he just got done cleaning the brake pads. Now he's putting another, like a conditioner, stop squeak on the pads. So it looks like a, I don't know, like a black ink. And he's rubbing it all over the brake pads and letting that dry. And then he'll put that back on the truck. So you see Carlo is handling this wheel, but you got supervisor over there, another guy over here. There was a guy just a minute ago over there. So it's not one guy doing the brakes. They have 4 guys, one on each wheel. So again, pretty amazing service. So the one thing I thought was interesting, in the US they normally change oil every 10,000 miles with synthetic oil. Here it's every 10,000 kilometers, which is 6,200 miles. But they do something different here. And what they do is they do that 5,000 kilometers. So what's that? 3,100 miles. They actually bring the vehicle in. They don't change the oil. What they do is they just take off the oil filter and replace the oil filter with a new one. And then they call it top off. So the oil filter holds maybe a half a liter, maybe a little bit less. So you have to buy the full liter, and then they top off and just give you the balance. But they do that at the 5,000 kilometer level, or 3,100 miles. So that's different from what I'm used to as well. So they change the oil every 6,200 miles, but at 3,100 miles, they just replace the oil filter and just top off the existing oil. So see what Carlo's doing. He's going through and he's got a torque wrench that he's going around to each of the lug nuts after the supervisor actually puts the lug nuts on. So see the torque wrench? He's getting it at the right pounds per square inch. And what I noticed is the supervisor put the drain plug back on. The supervisor went around and put all the lug nuts on. All the workers lifted the tire, put it on, and started the lug nuts by hand. But the supervisor actually went around and with the impact tool, the air wrench, and actually put it on. And then the same thing with the drain plug and the oil filter. The worker actually put on the oil filter, but the supervisor went up and double checked it was on the right tightness, and the same thing with the drain plug. He went up and made sure that it was tight. So again, all these little differences, which is just, to me, excellent customer service. You can definitely tell which one is the spare. Look how dusty it is. So they hooked the battery up to a voltmeter, and they're running a diagnostic on the battery to make sure that the battery is fully charged and working properly. So once they top off the oil, they also add this engine performance concentrate into the oil as well. And then supervisor here, his name is Inbo. What he's doing is he keeps going in and making sure that it's on the right level, and then they're adding oil as they need to, because this takes 7.5 liters. So it's an odd number because it comes in liters. So you pay for 8 liters, but they just keep working it until they get it right where it needs to be. So very, very precise. Extra oil? Oh, okay, thank you. So this is the oil, fully synthetic diesel engine oil, 4 diesel engines. And then you get to take the extra oil home with you. So the whole service took about 45 minutes from start to finish, and then they say, sir, complimentary And for good measure, they are vacuuming the interior as well. That's just amazing. Alright, so it looks like they did get another load of hollow block, and they're going to use that hollow block for these 3 panels to finish out the fence. And they're starting to bring in the concrete. Looks like they have all columns in place, and now they're pouring the footings and getting the vertical rebar set up. And it looks like they're just getting ready to put the first hollow block in place. Alright, so it looks like Robert did get the rendering completed on the inside wall of the carport. So it looks good. Looks like he added a little more there. That still needs to be worked. Alright, so today Robert worked on the outside wall here in the carport. Look how good that looks. So he's look like he's doing the final smooth out with the water. And this, look how smooth that comes. You guys know what that looks like when it's just hollow block. Just amazing how just a matter of one day they can make it look this good. Alright, it just seems like the touch-ups never end. And I know the contractor brought more paint and some more brushes up here yesterday, but they got Janelle up there trying to get ahead of Felix and going through and just verifying that they have all that red primer coat covered with the black top coat. So they're just going through one more time and just make sure they have it all painted before the roof goes on. So as you guys know, Felix lost 2 days this week, but he definitely made some gains. So he did do the master side yesterday, because you guys know I left here early. So you can see that he has all the insulation in, and all the metal roofing has been installed all the way through the master closet and into the master bathroom, and then to extend out over the dirty kitchen over to the wall. So he was able to get that completed yesterday. So as you guys know, Felix lost 2 days this week, but he definitely made some gains. So he did do the master side yesterday, because you guys know I left here early. So you can see that he has all the insulation in, and all the metal roofing has been installed all the way through the master closet and into the master bathroom, and then to extend out over the dirty kitchen over to the wall. So he was able to get that completed yesterday. All right, so now today Felix was able to get the rest of the roof completed. So this is the spare side. So this is the back spare bedroom. Roof is in and all screwed in. You can see spare bathroom, the other spare bedroom. So all completed, and now we're off to see how they're doing in the pergola. All right, so it looks like they did get all the touch-ups, the insulation and the roofing completed, and the pergola as well. And I really like the black paint on the steel. That definitely looks better than that red primer coat. But it sounds like they're up there working on the flashing now in the pergola area. All right, so here's your well. and famous Felix. So there's a lot going on here. So I want to try to explain. A lot of moving parts. So number one, the metal roofing was going to end right at that beam right there, that black beam. But we decided to extend it. And that's because there's going to be a wall here with a doorway. All right, now that's not part of the original plan. You guys know that. They started the footing there. And there will eventually be a wall here with a door. So they went ahead and extended the roofing out. I guess that's what, 2.5 feet? Just to provide a little extra rain shelter against the door. So that's number one. But number two, and this came from our meeting yesterday, and I've said this many times, this is our trouble spot. Really concerned about water. So what we're going to do here is we're going to backfill this, and we're going to actually now concrete this. So then we can control the pitch much better. So we're going to dig this out and backfill this up as high as we need to. And then we're going to go ahead and pour concrete and tip it down, which will automatically, when rain hits, it would go to the wall, and if done correctly, it'll head this way. Because the original plan was to only have concrete to this spot right here, that column. So that column to that wall is 5 meters. That was the original plan. And then to have this just be either gravel or grass. But we're still concerned about it, so this was actually Wilma's idea, and we're going to go ahead and do that. So then we can control it. So it'll be concrete, we'll pitch it away, we'll dig this out, we'll have drainage come this way, and then I believe we're going to have some piping here with a drain to go under the pool pump. And obviously it all has to be done before the concrete is poured, and then have it come out on the other side of this wall. So I don't know, that has to be 6 inches or a couple 2-inch pipes. We still got to talk that through, but it'll be similar to that blue pipe, and it would just be drainage for any rainwater that hits this area would come underneath the concrete and then go out this way. And then you can see once it heads out this way, it's just naturally going to drain down to the front fence. So that's the new plan. Of course, that's an extra, and we're keeping tabs of all the extras. All right, so it's quitting time, and the guys are starting to wind down here and getting ready to leave. So the roof update is, the roof is on the main house. Now they got to do all the flashing and the fascia. You know, all that has to be done. The pergola is also done, and the two ends of the dirty kitchen, the middle section, so the middle section right here of the dirty kitchen is not completed yet, and then all of the carport, because they were still doing the touch-ups of the black paint. But the good news is the main roof is on. So talking to Felix, he'll have the dirty kitchen completed tomorrow, and then he'll get started on the carport, and then the tedious work of all the flashing and the fascia, all that work still needs to be done. But I think good progress with losing 2 days. But again, that's the update. The majority of the roof is up, and it looks great.